Hey, how's it going, everybody? I got a little bit of a late start this morning, so I just need to make a quick poster, and today we are going to recreate this Swiss design poster in Illustrator. Before we get started, please make sure you are subscribed to support the channel. All right, so I have this here in Illustrator, and typically I set my posters up to 18 by 24 inches, but this is more like 17 by 24, so I've got it adjusted for that size. And just like everything else that I recreate in Illustrator, I'm gonna lower the opacity down to probably around 40% or so. I'm just gonna lock that layer. And the first thing I like to do when I'm recreating a Swiss poster is to recreate all the shapes first. All of these geometric shapes, I just like to kind of get a feel for them before I do any of the type. And we'll just lay these down right here. I'm gonna make this a lot easier to see. Let's make it a black stroke instead of a white stroke. There we go, I can see that so much easier now. Let's bring it up to 5 points. And then I'm just going to duplicate this over here. And I just like to lay these down. Now, there's all kinds of different ways that you can recreate shapes and things like that, but I like using the Pathfinder. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay down the overall structure of all of these different shapes first, and then we'll use the Pathfinder to kind of cut out and knock out some of those areas. So we're just going to go down here and do that. Interesting how that is mathematically precise right there. Very cool. All right, so these measurements are all exactly precise here. So what I'm going to do is use the rectangle tool to recreate this triangle. And what we're going to do here is switch over to our direct select tool, and we're going to select this anchor point and just hit delete. And now we're going to grab both of these anchor points and do Command or Control J to join them together. So now we have our structure here, but there's one key thing that we need to make sure that we do first before we do anything in the Pathfinder, and that is create a rectangle here. And the reason we're doing that is because we have this empty space that we want to leave behind right here. So now I'm going to select all of this right here. We're going to switch from the stroke to the fill. And now with all of that still selected, I'm going to go to the Pathfinder tool and click on divide. And now with my direct select tool, I'm going to go down here in this little section, select that, and just hit delete. And now let's go ahead and select all of this, and let's switch from the fill and the stroke to make sure that we did everything correctly. I'm going to bring this up to 5 points, and all of these different areas right here, we've got some overlapping, but we can take care of that also with the Pathfinder. So let's switch back over to a fill and go over here and click on Unite. So that unites everything together as one solid object. All right, the next thing I'm going to do is the type, and then we'll do the background. So I'm going to click on my type tool here, and let's bring this up. I'm not sure exactly if this is using Helvetica or not, but I'm just going to use it for the sake of this. And we are going to scale it up to about right there. We're going to get it as close as we can. And now let's align that to the first letter right there, and now we'll just kern this. All right, that looks good. So this is 268. We'll just call it 270. And let's bring this over here and let's study the relationship between the type sizes here. So I'm going to just adjust this to make it 270. I don't care too much that it's exactly lined up here. I care more about the relationship between the type sizes. So let's take a look at that. Let's bring this down to like 20 just to get a starting point. And we're just gonna type in $5. Could you imagine paying $5 to see Nirvana? That would be insane. Okay, so roughly the size here is 24 points, so we're just going to call it 24. All right, let's take 24 and divide it by 270. That gives us a type size difference in percentage of about 0.08%, and you could just round that up to 0.09. So we have 270 times 0.09, and that roughly gives us around 24. So that's a pretty good formula to use if you've got two pieces of type on your Swiss poster. All right, let's recreate the dates right here. And the address was 328 4th Avenue South. It's no longer there, which is very sad. All right, let's go ahead and unlock that bottom layer. And let's go ahead and grab that and move that over here. And we'll bring this up to 100. And now we will lay down our background. And we're going to send that to the back. And let's color drop on that red. It's looking great. And now we'll color drop on this kind of light whitish color. It's not exactly 100% white, but that's fine. And I also did not recreate the opening act, and Lush sounds great, so we'll just put Lush as the opening act there. And I'm going to just eyeball this. Let me go ahead and copy all this over. Okay, and I'm just going to eyeball this last bit right here. Let's group it together, send it all the way over, and then back it off by 1 inch. That looks about right. Okay, so as you can see, you can very quickly recreate Swiss posters, and if you're brand new to design or you're still a beginner, I highly recommend doing stuff like this because you can really get familiarized with all the different tools in Illustrator and also gain an understanding of the relationship between type sizes. I hope I taught you something in Illustrator today. If I did, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe to support the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.